Hello, everyone. Today I'm here with Tamara Qualls. She's the runner-up queen, international runner-up queen, I should say, for tops, and she lost 199 and a half pounds. Tamara, how do you feel?
I'm blessed. I cannot complain. Tamara.
Tamara, I told you I was going to mess it up.
I'm feeling wonderful.
It's quite a
Thank you.
change, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a wonderful change. Yes.
I noticed in your story, I just love this quote. You said, I reclaimed myself mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It's a total balance. Can you explain a little bit more how important it is to have that balance in your life?
Well, um, it, it's not easy to lose that kind of weight and think that you can just lose it just by losing the weight. You have to eat healthily. Um, you have to exercise. Um, for me, I meditate, I pray, um, and you know, it's a total balance because you can't do it without one without the other. In other words, in my opinion, you can't do it without it. So
All the pieces have to fit in. And I know
yeah.
emotions are a huge part of our lives where it can really swing us one way or the other. And that struck me. That said it had to be a total balance. You mentioned being physically active. I was looking at the list, and line dancing and ballroom dancing. I've never done ballroom dancing. Where do you do that?
Well, I do ballroom urban dancing. That's with a twist.
You're going to have to explain that one to me.
um, well, it's in the African American community, so we have a whole different way of dancing when it comes down to ballroom dancing, and it's more. It's a little bit of swing. It's a little bit of everything. Uh, you know, um, uh, the jive from back in the 20s.
Oh,
I mean, it
wow.
just depends on
Okay.
it depends on how far you can take it. I'm not that far yet, but it's just dancing with your partner type of thing and having fun with your partner. You know,
Okay. All right. Wow. That's something. Um,
exercise. That's
yeah. Well,
I love to
I picked up
dance.
on line dancing because I knew that, but I didn't know that. Um, have you always struggled with your weight throughout your life?
Well, I won't say struggle. I've always been overweight coming up as a child. But in my household, the word fat, the word diet, those wasn't words that was said in my household. So not that I didn't know that I was one of the chubbiest kids on the street, amongst my friends, but I always had a happy childhood. I always had confidence. So I never, all my friends were skinny to this day. And I never felt compelled to, you know, run and lose weight. I just never was in my head until I got to be pushing 500 pounds. And that happened because, I've always been chubby, like I said, but at my job that I was working at for a few years, we would sit and eat. My coworkers, I worked with social workers, and I was the office manager there. And so we would sit and have lunch together every single day. We would eat these heavy, heavy soul food meals, and you know, um, all kind of meals, all just heavy. Everything was heavy, 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 and we did that for years. And here we was all like around the same size, and I was 10 years younger than everybody. And so one day I noticed a few years later, everybody is running up and down the stairs, and I can barely make it. I could barely make it. Here I am, 10 years younger than everybody. And it dawned on me, I sat here and gained over 200 pounds, sitting here eating lunch and still going home fixing food, and or ordering out or what have you. And so I turned that around because it wasn't necessary. It really wasn't necessary. They all making more money than me, and they're getting up, going to, like I said, they were social workers. So yes, they was getting up after lunch and going out on their home visits. Where I'm going back to my desk to sit down.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, wow, I had just gained all that weight. So we had a full kitchen at work, and I decided to bring my own groceries to work and started fixing my biggest meals and eating my biggest meals at work. So my breakfast and lunch, I ate at work every day. And it took time. It took time, over time, just it was a slow pace of, you know, figuring it all out. I mean, yeah, some people can just go and lose 100 pounds in 6 months to a year. It took me 20.
It doesn't matter how long it takes, and everybody's different, as we know. And sometimes if you take it off fast, it comes back on fast. It's just, again, what you were saying, you're trying to get that balance is important. When was your before picture taken? How long ago was that?
Well, that picture actually was taken July 4th, 1999, which was a few months before I joined TOPS. I joined TOPS November of 99. So that's exactly what I looked like. And actually, I had already lost 58 pounds before I became TOPS.
Before you joined TOPS, okay. How did you find us?
Sitting at work one day, and I was going through our work directory and looking up for something related to the job, and I came past the fitness section, and it said TOPS. We have a grocery store here named TOPS, and I said, oh, I didn't know our grocery store had a weight loss.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I hurried up and called that number. And they said, nope, it had nothing to do with the grocery store, but I called, and rest is history.
Yeah. I thought it was touching. You mentioned the leader of your chapter kind of took you under her wing to help you along. How important was that to you?
It was very important. Barb Pepper, I would never, ever, ever forget her. Of course, I was the largest member when I first started. My very first weigh-in, matter of fact, I knew when I first got there, I was going to be bigger than larger than the scale. And so when I got on the scale, the weight reporter, she says, something's not right with the scale. So I'm saying to myself, I'm bigger than the scale. She'll figure it out. So she says, step off. Step off. She says, step back on. She said, something's wrong with the scale. And I said, nope, I'm bigger than the scale. She said, no, that's impossible. That you're bigger than the scale. That's impossible. I mean, I carried my weight well, but, I still was heavy, And so she said, well, let me get on. So she got on, and it was, the same weight that she was. She said, I cannot believe it. So, of course, I had to be weighed somewhere else, which was across the street was a hospital from where we met at. So I had to meet over there at the hospital, thinking that I was going to go to the department where they, have the scales and everything, But we meet at 6 o'clock. So not knowing that I was being led to the basement to a freight scale.
Wow. Yeah.
That was completely different. I never seen a freight scale before. I never thought I was going to,
Yeah.
But I didn't feel humiliated or anything. It woke me up, that was the purpose of me being there. And I felt as long as everybody continued to make me feel welcome and make me feel good about myself, I would continue to come. And I did. I had to meet there with her for about a year before they finally bought a little weight thing to go on that scale. By that point, I had already lost a few pounds already.
Right.
And actually, I had lost and gained and got over 400 pounds with TOPS, but I had got it back off like within a couple of weeks. But yeah, it was very challenging in the beginning for me, in the sense of me not feeling feeling uh, different. And well, she's the biggest person, and wow, you know,
Oh,
how she's gonna lose that
I
weight.
like, yeah, I like to always say, Tops is a safe zone. I mean,
Yeah,
we're all in this together, and we all have different paths, and different things happen to us. And I just like to do a shout out to weight recorders. It sounded like you had a dedicated weight recorder, and all our weight recorders are
yeah,
dedicated.
that's right, Mary Lavery.
Right. Well,
Yeah, she was a riot. She definitely was a riot.
Well, like I said, I enjoyed reading your story. I'm glad we had a chance to meet over Zoom. I'm sorry we were unable to go to IRD in Niagara Falls, which seems to be a little close to your location. That's
Very close, very close.
yeah. So, but I hope that we'll be able to see you next year so that we can do this proper. Do you have any last words you'd like to share with the group? Anything that that you didn't put in your story that you thought about since we announced your name a week ago?
I just like to say, don't give up. Whatever's going on in your life, because it's gonna always be death. It's always gonna be weddings. It's always gonna be, graduations. It's always gonna be celebrations. It's always gonna be, ups and downs. And it's gonna make you go up and down in your weight, grabbing and binging. And I did it. I did it. But I never stopped. I never gave up on myself. And that, in losing this weight, was my biggest giant that I defeated in my life. And so I know it's cliche, but I'm gonna tell you, if I can do it, you can do it.
It's not cliche at all. It's very, very powerful, and that was just perfect. Congratulations on your success. Again, I said I hope to meet you soon. We'll continue on. I'm going to be talking to other winners. I don't know if you know, but the four royalty, Patricia, Danny, Jay, and Tamara.
Tamara.
I told you. I don't know how much longer I gave, but I apologize, but I warned you ahead of time that I was going to do that. The four of you lost a total of 793.5 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is just simply amazing. So again, congratulations. Thank you for taking a little bit of time with me today.
So much for having me.
You're welcome. And hope to see you soon. Bye.
Yes.